Today, we're bringing 12 of Ohio's most haunting legends back to life. Mysterious tales that refuse to fade away. Number 1. Helltown. In northern Summit County, the abandoned village of Boston Mills is better known by its chilling nickname, Helltown. In the 1970s, the federal government bought out the town's homes to create a national park, leaving behind empty houses and boarded-up buildings. With no one left to explain the sudden evacuation, legends quickly grew, painting Helltown as one of the most sinister places in Ohio. Stories spread of an old church with upside-down crosses on its doors, said to be linked to satanic rituals. Locals whispered about a haunted school bus abandoned on the roadside, where the ghostly figures of children could be seen inside at night. Others claimed the forests around Helltown were home to mutant creatures, victims of toxic chemical spills that turned them into monsters. Perhaps the strangest tale is that of the so-called Peninsula Python, a giant snake said to roam the woods near the abandoned homes. While most of these stories have little evidence, the unsettling emptiness of Helltown fueled the imagination of thrill-seekers. Visitors reported feelings of dread, strange noises in the trees, and headlights that would appear suddenly behind them before vanishing without a trace. Today, Helltown remains part of the national park, its empty houses long gone, but the legends remain strong. Though many of the tales are exaggerations or myths, the aura of mystery still surrounds the land. For those who walk its quiet roads, Helltown is more than a ghost story. It's a reminder of how abandoned places can give rise to legends that refuse to die. Number 2. Franklin Castle. In Cleveland, a grand stone mansion looms over Franklin Boulevard, a house so eerie it has been named the most haunted in Ohio. Built in 1881 by wealthy banker Hannes Tiedemann, the Franklin Castle was once a symbol of success, but soon tragedy struck as several of Tiedemann's children died young, and his wife Louise passed away inside the home in 1895. Rumors of secret passages and hidden rooms began to swirl, feeding the castle's haunted reputation. Strange activity has been reported for over a century. Visitors tell of footsteps echoing in empty halls, doors slamming shut without warning, and the sound of babies crying when no one is there. The most famous apparition is that of a woman dressed in black, believed to be Louise herself, seen gliding through the halls or peering from the windows. Some guests have even claimed to feel icy hands touch their shoulders in the dark. Stories grew darker with time, as legends of hidden murders and secret chambers added fuel to the ghostly lore. While historians dispute some of the wilder tales, paranormal investigators still flock to the castle, reporting cold spots, whispers, and shadowy figures. Even skeptics admit that the house seems to carry an unsettling presence, unlike any ordinary old building. Today, Franklin Castle is remembered not only as an architectural gem, but also as Cleveland's most haunted landmark. Its history of loss, combined with endless reports of paranormal encounters, ensures that its reputation will never fade. For many, Franklin Castle is proof that some places carry the weight of the past forever. Number 3. Ohio Grassman. Deep in the forests of Ohio, hikers speak of a massive creature known as the grassman. Often compared to Bigfoot, the grassman has been described as standing 7 to 10 feet tall, covered in thick hair, with glowing eyes, and a foul odor. Unlike most Sasquatch legends, the grassman is believed to build grass shelters, which gave rise to its unusual name and set it apart from other cryptid tales. Reports of the creature go back to Native American legends of a wild man of the woods. In the 1800s, settlers in Ohio spoke of large, hairy beasts that attacked cabins or stole food from farms. Modern sightings are especially common around Salt Fork State Park, where campers and hunters still report strange howls echoing through the hills and footprints far too large to be human. Some encounters are chilling. Witnesses have claimed to see glowing eyes staring at them from the tree line, or to hear rocks being thrown as if the creature wanted them to leave. Families have reported more than one grassman together, fueling speculation that it lives in groups rather than alone. Casts of massive footprints found in the park have only deepened the mystery. Today, Salt Fork has embraced the legend, hosting events and hikes dedicated to the search for the grassman. Whether a case of misidentified animals, folklore passed down through generations, or something truly unknown, the grassman remains one of Ohio's most enduring mysteries. For many, the dark woods of Salt Fork feel alive with the possibility that something huge still roams unseen. Number 4. Moonville Tunnel. Deep in the hills of Vinton County lies the abandoned Moonville Tunnel, a lonely stretch of railroad passage built in the 1850s. Once part of a busy line for coal trains, the tunnel is now covered in moss and graffiti, its dark interior echoing with stories of tragedy. Over the years, countless accidents claimed the lives of railroad workers here, from brakemen struck by trains to passengers who stumbled into danger. Their spirits, locals say, never truly left. The most famous ghost of Moonville Tunnel is the Lantern Man, believed to be the spirit of a brakeman killed on the tracks in 1859. Travelers have reported seeing a glowing orb or the faint outline of a man swinging a lantern deep inside the tunnel, warning of a train that never comes. Some visitors even claim the figure rushes toward them before vanishing into the darkness. But he is not alone. Stories also tell of a woman struck and killed on the tracks in the 1900s, her apparition appearing along the rails. Other visitors report hearing disembodied voices, phantom footsteps, and the distant rumble of a train that hasn't run in decades. The eerie isolation of the tunnel only adds to its reputation as one of Ohio's most haunted places. Today, hikers brave enough to visit Moonville Tunnel often come away with chilling stories of their own. Whether the glowing lights are tricks of the eye or true spirits from the past, the legend has cemented the tunnel as a centerpiece of Ohio ghost lore. Number 5. Mothman. In the mid-1960s, the Ohio River Valley was gripped by fear as reports spread of a terrifying winged creature. In Point Pleasant, just across the river from Gallipolis, Ohio, people described seeing a man-sized figure with glowing red eyes and a wingspan of nearly 10 feet. It became known as the Mothman, a creature that seemed to appear before moments of disaster, leaving locals to wonder if it was a warning or a curse. Witnesses told of the Mothman chasing cars at high speeds, its massive wings beating against the night sky. Couples parked near the old TNT plant, a deserted military site, claimed to see the creature perched on the buildings or rising suddenly into the air. Its glowing red eyes were the detail most often repeated, searing themselves into the memory of those who saw it. The legend reached its peak on December 15, 1967, when the Silver Bridge, which connected Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, suddenly collapsed, killing 46 people. Many locals linked the disaster to the Mothman, claiming sightings had increased in the weeks leading up to the tragedy. After the collapse, reports of the creature almost completely disappeared, leaving only speculation and fear. Today, the Mothman is remembered as one of the most chilling legends of the Ohio River Valley. Statues, books, and festivals celebrate the mystery, but many still wonder what the witnesses truly saw. Whether it was a misidentified bird, a supernatural omen, or something unexplained, the story of the Mothman continues to haunt the river towns. Number 6. Loveland Frogman. Along the Little Miami River near the town of Loveland, Ohio, drivers have long whispered of an unusual creature lurking in the dark. The legend began in 1955 when a traveling businessman claimed to see 3 strange beings standing by the roadside late at night. He described them as frog-like humanoids, about 4 feet tall, with leathery skin and wide mouths. One even held a wand-like object that sparked with light, making the sighting even more mysterious. Nearly 2 decades later, in 1972, the story gained new life when 2 Loveland police officers encountered a similar figure. One officer reported seeing a creature rise up on 2 legs before leaping over a guardrail and vanishing into the river. The officer's credibility gave the tale weight, and it quickly became one of Ohio's most famous cryptid stories. Over the years, theories have ranged from misidentified large reptiles to escaped exotic pets, but no explanation has ever truly solved the mystery. Some say it could be an undiscovered species, while others insist it's simply local folklore amplified by imagination. Still, the consistency of the sightings, especially from respected witnesses, keeps the legend alive. Whether hoax, myth, or hidden creature, the Frogman continues to be one of Ohio's strangest and most enduring legends. Number 7. The Ridges. On the edge of Athens, Ohio, stands a building once known as the Athens Lunatic Asylum, today called the Ridges. Built in 1874, it was a sprawling hospital that housed thousands of patients over more than a century. Though intended to be a place of treatment, the asylum became infamous for overcrowding, experimental procedures, and tragic stories. With so much suffering inside its walls, it is no surprise that legends of hauntings have followed it ever since. Visitors say the most chilling reminder of its past is the stain left in an abandoned ward. In the 1970s, a patient went missing and was later found dead in an unused room. Her body had lain undiscovered for weeks, leaving a human-shaped mark permanently etched into the floor. Today, those who see the stain claim to feel overwhelming sadness or hear whispers in the empty hall. The cemetery at the Ridges only adds to the asylum's dark reputation. Hundreds of patients were buried in simple graves marked only by numbers, their names lost to time. Visitors walking among the stones report feeling watched, and some even claim to see ghostly figures moving between the trees. The energy of forgotten lives seems to cling to the grounds. Now, part of Ohio University, the Ridges houses classrooms and museums, yet its reputation remains. Students and staff speak of footsteps echoing through deserted halls and doors that open on their own. For many in Athens, the Ridges is not just a historic building, but one of the most haunted places in Ohio. Number 8. Melon heads. In the woods near Kirtland, Ohio, lurks one of the state's strangest legends, the melon heads. These small, pale figures are described as humanoid beings with oversized, bulbous heads and glowing eyes. The stories date back generations, and though the details vary, they all agree on one thing: the melon heads are not creatures you want to meet on a lonely back road at night. One tale claims they were once children at a secret orphanage where cruel experiments enlarged their heads and warped their bodies. After escaping into the wilderness, they survived by hiding in the forests, shunning society, and frightening those who wandered too close. Some stories even suggest they ambushed travelers, their strange appearance causing panic before they vanished into the trees. Drivers along the dark country roads near Kirtland have reported sudden encounters. Headlights catch small figures darting across the road, or eerie shapes watching from the edge of the forest. Others claim to hear high-pitched laughter echoing through the night, with no one in sight. The idea of entire families of melon heads roaming the woods has only made the legend more unsettling. While historians suggest the stories are simply folklore born from imagination, the melon heads have become a lasting part of Ohio's spooky culture. They appear in books, local ghost tours, and countless retellings around campfires. Whether monsters, outcasts, or just a tale meant to warn children, the legend of the melon heads continues to haunt the back roads of Northeast Ohio. Number 9. Golden Lamb Inn. In the town of Lebanon stands the Golden Lamb Inn, the oldest continuously operating hotel in Ohio. Opened in 1803, it has welcomed presidents, writers, and travelers for more than 2 centuries. But not all its guests checked out. The Golden Lamb is said to be home to several resident spirits, each tied to its long history. The most famous ghost is that of Sarah Stubbs, the young niece of an innkeeper from the 1800s. Guests and staff often report seeing a little girl in old-fashioned clothing wandering the halls or playing on the staircases. Some even hear childish laughter in the dead of night, believing Sarah is still enjoying the hotel she once called home. She is not the only spirit said to linger. A ghostly woman in black has been seen in various rooms, while others report the presence of political figures from the inn's past. The building's creaking floors and historic furnishings only add to the atmosphere, making every shadow and sound feel alive with history. Today, the Golden Lamb is a popular restaurant and inn, proud of both its heritage and its legends. Visitors come for the food and charm, but often leave with stories of ghostly encounters. For many, the Golden Lamb is more than a historic hotel. It is a place where Ohio's past is still very much alive, one spectral guest at a time. Number 10. Lake Erie, Bessie. For over 2 centuries, sailors and fishermen on Lake Erie have whispered about a monster lurking beneath its waves. Known as Bessie, this legendary creature is often described as a massive serpent, 20 to 40 feet long, with dark scales glistening just above the surface. The earliest report dates back to 1793, when 2 men claimed to see a snake-like beast thrashing in the lake. Ever since, Bessie has become Ohio's own version of the Loch Ness Monster. Sightings have continued throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, especially near Sandusky Bay and South Bass Island. Fishermen spoke of their boats being rocked by something enormous passing below, while others swore they saw a huge head rise from the water before disappearing. In the 1990s, the legend became so popular that a Cleveland newspaper even offered a cash reward for Bessie's capture, though no one ever claimed the prize. Some say Bessie is just a giant sturgeon or another large fish mistaken in the heat of the moment, but believers argue the sheer size and serpent-like shape reported cannot be explained so easily. What makes the story especially eerie is the consistency of the descriptions, separated by decades, yet strikingly similar. Today, Bessie has become a playful mascot for Lake Erie, inspiring festivals, logos, and tourist attractions. Still, the mystery endures. Every time the water ripples strangely or a shadow passes under a boat, people wonder if Ohio's lake monster is still alive. Number 11. Cincinnati Music Hall. Cincinnati's Music Hall is a breathtaking 19th century theater, but behind its beautiful design lies a history that has earned it a reputation as one of the most haunted buildings in America. Built in 1878, the Grand Hall was constructed over a site that once held a pauper's cemetery. When workers dug the foundation, they unearthed hundreds of bones, many of which were reburied beneath the building. From its very beginning, Music Hall was linked to the dead. Over the years, staff and performers have shared unsettling encounters. Some report shadowy figures gliding across the stage when the theater is empty, while others hear phantom applause echoing long after the audience has gone home. In the hallways, disembodied footsteps and whispers follow visitors, though no one can be found. One of the most chilling stories comes from the basement, where workers often feel sudden cold drafts and an overwhelming sense of dread. Some claim to see ghostly forms among the storage rooms, believing the spirits buried beneath the building have never truly rested. Paranormal investigators have captured unexplained voices and even faint music when the hall was silent. Today, Music Hall is celebrated as a cultural jewel of Cincinnati, home to concerts, operas, and festivals. Yet many believe its history ensures that the past will always remain close by. For some visitors, the experience is more than just a performance. It is a brush with the lingering spirits of the city's forgotten dead. Number 12. Minerva Monster. In the summer of 1978, the quiet town of Minerva, Ohio, was shaken by a series of terrifying encounters. A local family reported seeing a massive, hairy creature near an old strip mine behind their home. Standing over 7 feet tall and weighing an estimated 300 pounds, the beast was covered in dark hair and had glowing eyes that stared at them through the windows. The frightened family called the sheriff, and their story soon spread across Ohio. The sightings didn't end there. Neighbors also reported strange activity, rocks being thrown, animals spooked, and a powerful stench in the air whenever the creature was near. On more than one occasion, multiple witnesses saw the beast lurking by the quarry or walking along the tree line, only to vanish into the woods before anyone could get close. Investigators visited the area and found unusual footprints, but no clear explanation. While some suggested it was a misidentified bear or even a prank, those who saw it swore it was something unlike any animal they had ever known. Its glowing eyes and enormous size made it impossible to forget. Today, the Minerva Monster is remembered as one of Ohio's most famous cryptid encounters. The town even hosts events celebrating the legend, keeping the story alive. Whether it was a lost animal, an undiscovered species, or simply a case of mass hysteria, the Minerva Monster remains a mystery that still haunts the small community decades later. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.